Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit! Okay, since we don't have any atheists with reasonably sized testicles, does anybody have any questions about how you respond to an atheist?
Well, I was gonna ask if you wanted to continue our conversation from earlier about
what were we talking about?
We were talking about you thinking that the Earth was 6,000 years old and 8,000 years old, and we were talking about the Ice Age.
Yep.
So if you want to continue that, we can.
Sure. Go ahead.
So yeah, I think last time we left off, we were talking about how, like, if an asteroid impact of a certain size would impact, or were to impact, in a hypothetical scenario that would increase the temperature briefly and then decrease it. And I was asking you if you thought that that would have been some sort of proof as related to, like, an asteroid impact that could have triggered the Ice Age. So I just wanted to, like, know if you thought...
I don't think that an asteroid impact would trigger an Ice Age, unless, of course, you want to suggest that it would kick up a large amounts of sediment that would float in the atmosphere and would block, the sun, to a certain degree, just like certain volcanic eruptions have done that.
Okay. So, I'm guessing also then you don't think that there was a dinosaur impact asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, I mean?
No. I think that the vast fossil beds that we find, and if you actually look at it, I was watching a documentary today, and they show where most of the dinosaur fossils are found, and they're found, the majority of them, they're found in a certain pattern in North and South America. See, to me, this is consistent with the worldwide flood, that they were all buried very rapidly, with the flooding, the recurrent flooding from tsunamis, from the massive earthquakes, from the rapid movement of tectonic plates as opposed to slow movement. See, there's not a dispute over the data. There's a dispute over the interpretation of the data. But you see, the old earthers out there and the pro-evolutionists, they will not tolerate their dogma being questioned unless it's fine-tuning and tweaking within the dogma.
Okay. So then you would think that the dinosaurs went extinct because of a great flood? Or instead of
I think the dinosaurs went extinct because those dinosaurs that went on board the Ark, when they were released, did not reproduce in sufficient numbers over a period of time until they went extinct. We have certain. Where do you think, from a biblical perspective, that these mythological representation of dragons came from? Do you think that they're entirely just a vivid imagination? No, this is probably a holdover from, some dinosaurs remaining in the wild, but eventually went distinct. And then certain of these dinosaurs were caricaturized, like flying dragons, things like that.
Wait, so you think there were dinosaurs on the Ark?
I think that there were dinosaurs living in certain parts of the world, maybe not dispersed all throughout it like some animal kinds. I think, based upon the flood remains that we have, that a number of the dinosaur populations were all congregating in a certain region. There's a pattern to it in the burial path.
Okay, that's not exactly answering my question. I asked if you thought there were dinosaurs on the Ark, not if there were dinosaurs.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear Ark.
Yeah,
I do, but I don't think they were grown adults. I think they were small.
All right, when you say dinosaurs, you mean like T-Rexes and Triceratops, not like actual modern birds, right?
No, I'm talking about dinosaurs. Okay, but I don't think that Noah brought full-grown adults of the large animals. There wouldn't be a need to.
Okay.
And in fact,
Darth,
he wouldn't need to bring even all the current species on the Earth. All he would have to bring are the basic kinds out of which as a result of reproductive speciation, you would develop different variants of a kind. Okay, because the information for the various deviations of the kind or the speciation are already inherent within the genetic code.
Okay. So you're saying then that dinosaurs and modern land mammals were on the same arc at the same time period.
Yes.
So dinosaurs and mammals were living at the same time.
Yes.
So there were lions and cheetahs when T Rexes were roaming the planet.
Yes.
You do realize that dinosaurs.
But you have to understand.
Dinosaurs
Listen,
came before
yeah.
mammals.
Okay, that's that. Well, that all you're just simply doing is you're recapitulating a retrodiction of the past that I and other biblical creationists, we don't accept that retrodiction. We accept the retrodiction that God gave.
Well, what's that retrodiction that God gave? The dinosaurs and mammals were living at the same time?
Yes.
So where are the dinosaurs now?
All right. Look. Let me explain something to you. Okay. Unless you are motivated to really study evolution, and you're motivated to study very strong criticisms of the entire system, especially by those who are credentialed, who have degrees in that area, in all likelihood, you're not going to be able to differentiate between what are facts and what are interpretations of the facts. Okay? You're going to think that the interpretation of the facts is actual scientific data when you read certain textbooks or you watch certain documentaries. Okay?
Okay.
Like, for example, do you know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is?
Yes, I'm well aware of who he is.
Okay, Neil deGrasse Tyson says, they ask him, what is one of the most profound things that causes you amazement as ever on a regular basis as an astronomer? And he said, well, he says the answer to that is that we are stardust. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that a scientific statement?
That world from Stardust?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That would be yes.
Okay. Well, the answer is it's not.
It's not?
It's a materialistic retrodiction masquerading as science. Okay, and it doesn't even measure up to Neil deGrasse Tyson's own standard for truth. Neil deGrasse Tyson says there's three kinds of truth. There's objective truth, personal truth, and political truth. Objective truth is discoveries that can be replicated anywhere in the world by different people using the same kind of equipment to come up with the same results. Okay, he calls that objective truth. Okay, personal truth is what you just personally believe is the case. Political truth is just what the powers to be in any given culture or government tell you is the truth.
Okay.
So, which one of those things, when Neil deGrasse Tyson says we are stardust, is that objective truth, personal truth, or political truth?
That would be objective truth.
No, it wouldn't. Because you see, you can't test, observe, or repeat that.
You can't?
No.
Well, how would you test it in the first place?
You can't.
Okay.
Okay.
So
it may be the case. Listen, I'm going to show you how you're deceived. Okay. And by the way, when people buy into a paradigm or a dogma, they will even violate some of their own standards as long as they believe it's true. So when Neil deGrasse Tyson says that we're a stardust, what he's referring to is the belief that the universe is 13.7 billion years old, that the universe started in an explosion, the Big Bang, from what is putatively a singularity, and that certain stars formed over billions of years, and then some stars will explode, and then they will emit higher elements that previously had formed in the furnaces of stars, and then that would then coalesce into planets. And then when you have planets like the Earth, and then you have biology, that the higher elements end up in our bodies. That's not observable, testable, or repeatable. That's a materialistic retrodiction about the past posing as science. We don't even know that higher elements can be forged in the furnaces of stars. There's reason to believe that some of the lower elements might be able to be forged in the furnaces of stars. But even if it were true, even if we were to agree that the intense heat and pressures of stars could form the higher elements, it wouldn't necessarily follow from that, because I have certain higher elements in my body, that it was forged in the furnaces of stars. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than the elements that are in my body right now, all right, from a biblical perspective, they weren't forged in the furnaces of stars. The elements that are on Earth right now, except for maybe some asteroids or stuff like that entered into Earth's orbit and landed on Earth, the higher elements were created by God in the first week of creation. Okay?
Yeah.
So people like Neil deGrasse Tyson are simply peddling naturalism and materialism and calling it science. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I heard
Oh
that.
my god.
I was gonna ask him a
Wow.
question. God damn it.
I actually want to continue this later on, because apparently he thinks the dinosaurs on the ark.
Don't change or stop.
Did you guys hear her in the background?
Yeah, I heard her.
Did you get that, Tom Rabbit?